Bonsoir Nadine Yambo. Good evening viewers. Thanks for joining us on the 8 p.m. bilingual newscast on Equinox Television. We're live from Equinox Central News Desk in Douala, Cameroon. In this edition of the news, Cameroon's #1 opposition figure in terms of the October 7, 2018 presidential election, Professor Maurice KAMTO of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM political party, members of the CRM coalition, supporters and sympathizers of the CRM political party have been released after spending close to 9 months in detention. Ambiance in this edition of the news. Thanks Nadine Yambo. Viewers, thanks for joining us in this second segment of English language. We begin with our lead story, President Paul Biya's immediate challenger within the context of the October 7, 2018 presidential election in Cameroon. Maurice KAMTO of the CRM political party plus some 101 supporters, sympathizers, allied of the CRM political party have been released after spending close to 9 months in detention in Yaoundé. The CRM party militants and leaders were released after a short audience at the Yaoundé military tribunal. Babila Jonathan tells us more from Yaoundé.
The national president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM political party, Professor Maurice KAMTO, first vice president Mamadou Mota, and other detainees of the 2018 post-election crisis arrived the Yaoundé military court in triumph, pomp, and pageantry Saturday. They had been in detention for several months. The national president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM political party, Professor Maurice KAMTO, other leaders of the party, allies, sympathizers and militants have been set free by the Yaoundé military court, and there are militants here in their numbers in and out of the Yaoundé military court celebrating and chanting songs unto Professor Maurice KAMTO and the other leaders.
It is a special procedure that has taken place here today to apply the instructions of the head of state yesterday, and the legal base of this special court session is section 13, paragraph 4 of the 2017 law on the military justice code, which provides for a nolle prosequi procedure, ending procedures for persons who are prosecuted before military court for some reasons. It could be for security reasons or protection of public order.
Where the lawyer will be in difficulties, will be there, and that's why we are here. And we are very grateful that Ndoki Michel has been released. Of course, grateful for others, because after all, it is a matter of justice.
It's a good day for justice in this country. We had said it from the beginning that there was no need to bring charges against Professor KAMTO and co.
We thank the Cameroon people. Today, it is the victory of democracy.
The judges here have not only ended at the level of President Paul Biya's decision to end judicial proceedings or the trial of these ex-detainees, they have gone beyond that.
Usually, the public prosecutor decide only to stop the prosecution, but today they didn't only stop the prosecution. There was also a complete withdrawal of the prosecution.
The lawyers of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM ex-detainees are demanding the liberation of those still detained.
We should go beyond just Professor Maurice KAMTO and the MRC. Let us give pardon to Sesekwa Yuktabe and co. Let us grant general amnesty to those who are still in detention, and grant clemency to each and everyone who is abroad, who is under investigation, who has been charged, who has a warrant against him, and also release the Mancho BBC and the rest.
The ex-detainees, their comrades still in jail, and the CRM party as a whole maintain their stand against electoral hold-up, the Anglophone crisis and poor governance in Cameroon.
And shortly after the release of Professor Maurice KAMTO, supporters, sympathizers of his political party stormed the Yaoundé residence of Maurice KAMTO in joy, celebrating, singing as they commune with the leader of their political party. We shall be coming back to the ambience at the residence surely before the end of this newscast. And we move on to something else now. Some or close to 200 detainees of the Anglophone crisis have so far benefited from President Paul Biya's special decision to release some 333 persons arrested for committing misdemeanors within the context of the Anglophone crisis. Yesterday in the city of Douala, some 54 detainees were freed at the Douala Central Prison, that is in the Nubel municipality of the city of Douala, and reports from Boya equally have it that some 148 persons benefited from this measure of the head of state, and equally some close to 60 were set free in Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon. Speaking to a reporter in the city of Douala, the vice president of the Douala Military Tribunal, that is Abu Aka, indicated that it falls within President Paul Biya's effort to see a return to normalcy in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon and equally across Cameroon. He equally indicated that their decision to immediately release these detainees comes with their effort to accompany President Paul Biya in his move to see peace and tranquility across Cameroon. And we move over to the east region of Cameroon, because Cameroon has not equal always or only known challenges, security challenges in the northwest, southwest, or the far north regions of the country. There were equally challenges security-wise in the east region of Cameroon, notably in areas where the Seleka rebels from the Central African Republic have been creating panic in the hearts of inhabitants of parts of the east region, notably those of the Kade, a division bordering the Central African Republic. Immaculate Fogwe takes us to the east region of Cameroon.
We are in Toktoyo, Borough Subdivision, Kade Division, East Region of Cameroon. The locality that shares boundary with Central African Republic has been facing several security threats carried out by Seleka rebels who are thought to be from Central African Republic. Today, calm is gradually returning in the locality, with inhabitants experiencing tranquility. In 2014, we witnessed some security challenges which has greatly affected economic activities in the area. The efforts put in place by the government has gone a long way in bringing back peace in the area. The inhabitants are equally decrying the poor state of their roads, lack of electricity, and shortage of teachers in their schools. The poor state of our roads makes movement really difficult, thus hampering the development of the area. Can you imagine our children are using bush lamps in the 21st century to study?
Les élèves utilisent les lampes tempêtes pour étudier, malgré tous les produits. Nous avons le problème des enseignants.
The shortage of teachers is one of the many challenges we are facing. Can you imagine that in the entire school, we have just one teacher? It is terrible. We are calling on the elites and government to come to our aid. Some elites of the area have distributed didactic materials to some students and pupils, a gesture they admired, and are calling on others to copy.
And on to something else, the 25th International Teachers' Day has been commemorated in the Littoral region, precisely in Littoral Regional Chief Town of Douala. Most of the teachers present at the Beseke ceremonial ground in Douala indicated that teachers in Cameroon are not well treated despite their effort in nation building. More in the following report. The 25th International Teachers' Day in Douala was an opportunity for teachers to express their frustrations.
The impression that society has about teachers, it discourages teachers from doing their job very well.
when it comes to the pay package, it is not as compared to what a teacher is supposed to be. Because when you want to talk about a teacher who is the nation builder, a teacher should be somebody who should even have the highest salary after the doctors.
Added to efforts given by employers, administrators want young teachers in Cameroon to be determined.
There's no way for the teachers to give up. The young teachers are the future of their professions. If they give up, there's no way to give a good life to everybody.
Cognizance of the importance to motivate labor for better output, school administrators like Madame Tambe Wendy of PNEU School outlined some strategies adopted by her team.
The PNEU teacher is a wonderful teacher. We are also working for a board of trustees that are equally very, very considerate. They have this day provided refreshment, they provided the fabric and transport for the march past to make us feel very great. Apart from that, generally the PNU teacher is well treated. We work in very conducive environment. There is no harassment from the board of trustees. We work at peace, and also the teacher has snacks at school. They don't need to roam the neighborhood or spend time cooking food in the morning to bring to school.
To Madame Estanji, the good teacher-administrator relationship she has adopted is the reason for the positive turnout of her teaching staff to commemorate this year's International Teachers' Day.
They are the future of this country. They are the future of the teaching field, the teaching profession. And in Gateway, there are lots of things that we do to keep them and to make them give us good results. They have some benefits, they are well taken care of, and they give us good results. They have some conditions that make them comfortable at school. They have a canteen. They don't have to go out at break to look for food around the quarters. We have a round table, which we don't only eat, we have to deliberate on the theme of the day. And after that, we eat, we drink, and we dance, and on Monday school starts.
Some teachers at the Douala ceremonial ground also frown at what they call abuse of their colleagues by some parents and local administrators in Cameroon. Citing the recent stories from the south and west regions of Cameroon, teachers in Douala look up to the government for better empowerment.
Inhabitants of the Mundemba, that is Mundemba, the chief town of the Indian division of the southwest region of Cameroon, say they are happy after works have resumed at one of the agro-industrial estates in the southwest region, badly affected by the Anglophone crisis at Pamor. They say the inactivity at Pamor had equally paralyzed economic activities within Mundemba and the rest of the Indian division. Innocent as it tells us more.
Pamor resuscitates after it was sent to coma for a long period by the armed conflict, which did not spare Mundemba in the Indian division of the southwest region. A club commentators say is merited by the government for supporting the general manager, Chief Mekania Charles, who was in Mundemba recently to supervise finishing touches at the mill before it went fully operational on the 12th of September 2019. Mundemba residents say the operation of the mill will go a long way to boost economic activities as workers and farmers could be able to generate revenue through salaries and sales of farm produce to the company, which also enabled parents send their children to school. Pamor general manager, despite the challenges he faced to revamp activities, was still able to assist the children affected by the Anglophone crisis go back to school. This has granted school needs to the children who were stopped from pursuing their fundamental rights to education by separatists. These are mostly children in schools found within the Pamor plantation.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, it is with that element that we'll be putting a stop but not leaving you. You remember the main news item across Cameroon today is the release of Professor Maurice Kamto of the CRM political party and some 101 supporters, sympathizers and allies of his party. We have the ambiance from Yaoundé, Nadine Yambo.
Exactement, Formi Armstrong Sanda. L'actualité ce jour, c'est bien sûr la libération du professeur Maurice Kamto ainsi que ses alliés. Et ce samedi donc, des centaines de militants ainsi que sympathisants se sont massivement mobilisés du côté de la prison principale de Kondengui ainsi qu'à son domicile au quartier Santa Barbara pour accueillir le leader du mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun et principal challenger de Paul Biya lors de la dernière élection présidentielle. Ambiance à son domicile dans ce reportage de Aïe Cyril.
Fort déploiement des forces de l'ordre à la prison principale de Yaoundé, où le public venu nombreux veut voir sortir Maurice Kamto. Lorsque les portes de la prison s'ouvrent, c'est à bord d'une Venza CE 289 BH que le leader du MRC, accompagné de ses alliés, retrouve le dehors. La mobilisation populaire à la prison principale de Yaoundé est aussi observée au domicile de Maurice Kamto, au quartier Santa Barbara. Le domicile de Maurice Kamto au quartier Santa Barbara à Yaoundé ne désemplit pas les partisans, les militants, sympathisants du mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun ainsi que les partisans des mouvements alliés se sont donné rendez-vous par milliers ici au domicile de Maurice Kamto. Et ils attendent le président Maurice Kamto, président du MSC qui est sorti des geôles de la prison principale de Yaoundé cet après-midi et qui est attendu à son domicile ici au quartier Santa Barbara.
Donc maintenant c'est de Kondengui a étudié pour installer le président Maurice Kamto pour le changement du peuple camerounais.
I'm from Bamenda. I thank God for our president Maurice Kamto that have been liberated today at 12 o'clock in Yaoundé. I'm from Bamenda, North region.
Nous pensons qu'il va apporter le changement. Grâce à lui, franchement, nous savons que tout est possible. Le vrai dialogue va maintenant commencer.
Nous attendons le Maurice Kamto, étant fier avec toute la grâce, toute la fierté que Dieu nous a donnée.
Merci, vous avez donc suivi ces militants du mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun qui attendent donc le président du MSC Maurice Kamto, libéré depuis cet après-midi et qui devrait arriver à son domicile dans quelques instants seulement au quartier Santa Barbara à Yaoundé. Sorti de prison, Maurice Kamto est salué par des amis et connaissances avant de s'adresser au public.
Un an après notre rendez-vous historique, vous continuez à me témoigner votre affection, votre soutien et votre amour. J'en suis sincèrement et profondément touché. Je vous remercie. Je n'ai pas un plus grand mot que celui-là. Je vous remercie du fond du cœur. Je vous avais dit une chose, je ne vous trahirai jamais. Maintenant, s'ouvre un nouveau chapitre de notre lutte. Si certains pensent que le fait d'être libéré, c'est la fin de la lutte, alors ils n'ont rien compris parce que nous n'avons rien obtenu de ce que nous demandions. Donc, le grand chantier de la lutte politique pour le respect des droits humains fondamentaux, des libertés des citoyens camerounais, pour un système électoral fiable qui vous permet de choisir les dirigeants que vous voulez pour notre pays. Ce chantier-là est devant nous et je compte sur vous pour que nous menions jusqu'au bout ce chantier de manière pacifique.
À la suite du professeur KAMTO, l'artiste Valsero et le professeur Alain Foguet sauvent également un bain de foule. Célestin Jamen et Paul-Éric Kingé, qui respirent eux aussi l'air de la liberté, annoncent que malgré plusieurs mois d'incarcération, ils n'abandonnent pas.
J'ai la réaction d'un homme qui redécouvre la liberté, qu'il n'aurait jamais dû perdre. Mais néanmoins, ça c'est les vicissitudes de la vie. Nous sommes dans le combat. Je suis rentré en prison pour mes idées. Et si je suis brimé pour mes idées, je suis prêt à y repartir.
Le combat continue.
Le combat ne fait que commencer. Et le combat sera relancé de plus belle parce que nous avons été jetés en prison sans motif et on nous a sortis sans motif.
Nous sommes véritablement satisfaits et surtout touchés par la marque, n'est-ce pas, d'estime des populations du Cameroun, de Yaoundé. Le peuple camerounais, cette libération, nous la lui dédions. Parce que c'est ce peuple qui s'est fermement montré comme défenseur de notre cause. Je voudrais dire que c'est à partir d'aujourd'hui que la bataille commence. C'est à partir d'aujourd'hui que la bataille de libération du peuple camerounais commence.
Ils se sont donné rendez-vous par milliers au domicile de Maurice KAMTO, au quartier Santa Barbara à Yaoundé. Les militants sympathisants du mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun qui sont venus saluer la libération du professeur Maurice KAMTO qui a bénéficié ainsi que ses alliés de l'arrêt des poursuites décidées par le président Paul Biya. Il est sorti de prison cet après-midi. Ses sympathisants, les militants du mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun sont venus le congratuler et saluer cette libération. Le professeur Maurice KAMTO qui a annoncé que malgré les difficultés, malgré la longueur, la lutte continue. C'est le peuple camerounais tout entier qu'il faut libérer. Depuis le domicile de Maurice KAMTO au quartier Santa Barbara à Yaoundé, Élisée Borba à Cyril, EQUINOXE Télévision.
Merci à vous, Élisée Borba et Cyril. Vous avez vu l'ambiance au domicile de Maurice KAMTO tout juste après sa libération. Le leader du MRC fait savoir que le combat continue. Fomi Armstrong Sanda.
Yes, determines Maurice KAMTO, his allies, that is Paul-Éric Kingé, and so many of them. As you followed there in French, that is the ambience that followed their liberation at the Santa Barbara residence of Maurice KAMTO in Yaoundé. Babala Jonathan was equally there for you in the English language.
The Yaoundé principal prison, Saturday, security is tight. Forces of law and order have been deployed in their numbers to control a huge crowd of militants, supporters and sympathizers of Professor Maurice KAMTO and the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM political party. The national president of the CRM, other leaders of the party, allies and militants detained for over 8 months and freed by the Yaoundé military court following a presidential decree are leaving the prison. The ex-detainees are accompanied by the praise-singing crowd of militants to Professor Maurice KAMTO's residence in Santa Barbara in Cameroon's political capital.
For our president, Maurice KAMTO, that have been liberated today at 12 o'clock in Yaoundé. I'm from Bamenda, North region. I thank you also for the dialogue that I've making in Yaoundé, carry out from the 4th of the 10th of December to the 4th. I also pray that God should make the big gathering and the other dialogue should continue so that they should liberate the other leader, everybody, Siseko Ayoktabe and the rest others. We also thank God for liberating some of our young youth from Bamenda that have come in Yaoundé.
He had earlier decided not to say a word, but he will reverse that decision.
Je ne vous trahirai.
I will never betray you.
La lutte que nous menons est une lutte.
We are in a political fight. It is done in peace and will continue with me in peace.
Dans la paix. Et elle se fera toujours avec moi dans la paix. Nous réaliserons
We will achieve change in Cameroon in peace.
Et par les urnes. Nous sommes libres, moi et les leaders des partis et organisations alliés.
We are free today. I, other leaders of the movement, allies and hundreds of militants were arbitrarily arrested and illegally detained in very difficult conditions for over 8 months.
Pendant plus de 8 mois en prison, dans des conditions extrêmement difficiles.
They were arrested shortly after the October 7, 2018 presidential election, following protests organized across the country to demand for what they called Professor KAMTO's stolen victory. He came second, behind President Paul Biya, according to official results.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your very kind attention. We wish you a blessed stay in the company of programs on Equinox Television. Have a nice weekend. Nadine Yambo, have a nice evening.
Merci à vous, famille Armstrong, Sanda. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est la fin de ce journal. Merci pour votre aimable attention et passez d'agréables moments en compagnie de nos programmes.